Okay, great. So let's dive in. So thanks for joining this training. Okay. So what I'm going to be covering today is how you can add a retreat strategy to your online business. And so if you have ever wondered, like, is it possible as a practitioner to build out my own online business and also have transformational retreats as part of the offering? I'm here to tell you yes, and I'm here to give you some strategies about how you can do that. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be walking through on this exact video. If you are new to me, I'm Dr. Tilean. I'm a psychologist and I'm also a business coach. I specifically help practitioners, health and well-being practitioners, move from confusion to clarity as they build up their own online, purpose-led, soul-aligned coaching business. Okay. So literally, this is going to be for you if you are a practitioner and you know that there's something more aligned for you in terms of your true purpose, in terms of your business, in terms of how you're meant to be having impact out there in the world, right? If you are done, like 2024 is like, I am over feeling unsatisfied or restless or undervalued or underpaid with the current way of working, and I want to work in much more soul aligned ways. And if you are intrigued, curious, started, you're ready to really step out and start, and not just start, but scale a business that fuels you, right? Where you are really making a difference in people's lives. And I really want you to listen up, because I'm going to be covering today the 5 core factors that you must consider to execute effectively adding retreats as part of your online business. All right. That's what I'm going to be covering. And here's why, right? So I'm a psychologist. For any of you that watch this and you're a psychologist, you know the journey to becoming a psychologist, particularly in the UK, it can be a lengthy one, right? Pretty much 10 years of study. Yeah. On the route to becoming a psychologist at doctorate level, I took a break, right? So after I got my master's, I took a break and was like, can I keep going with this psychologist dream, right? Like of study, low paid working jobs or voluntary work in order to get to that dream destination of becoming a psychologist. Yeah. And so I took a break and decided, you know what? There's easier ways to live life and have fun. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to become an event producer. And I actually started producing events, right? And these events would net 6 figures, multiple 6 figures for each event. I worked for a company and I would support them as an event producer to do that. These events would take place in 5-star venues all across the world, right? I was responsible for the North American region. I would travel, and I would go to these events, and they were amazing, right? I met some phenomenal people there, and executed some really amazing events in beautiful destinations, beautiful venues, and would have such a blast. And so in 2015, when I made that decision that I'm going to start my own business, right? So I worked in the events industry for a few years. Whilst doing that, what most people on the outside were saying, Talene's got a dream job. That looks amazing. Look, she's here, she's here, she's here. She's been put up in all these hotels, living her life, right? Inside of me, I knew like that passion, that draw towards helping people, and the vision I had to being a psychologist and helping people elevate their lives was still being unfulfilled. And so I made a decision to leave that industry, go back to healthcare, take a pay cut, like do my doctorate, and I was like, I'm going to go for this. But when I finish, I'm going to set up my business, and I'm going to set up my business in a way that really sets my soul on fire, right? Like I feel really alive, feel really like infused with what I'm doing. And absolutely, I'm just living my purpose, right? And living in my truth and living in ways that I wanted to live and work. And so I knew that when I set up my business in 2015, right, my own business, I decided there was some like non-negotiables for me. I wasn't going to create a traditional private practice where I would be confined to one particular location with only working with clients in this particular area, with, I wanted to have a business that was location independent, that if I wanted to go to Jamaica for a month, I could go to Jamaica for a month, right? If I wanted to go somewhere and just decide I want to live somewhere else, I could do that and still my business could operate. Yeah. I decided as well that I wanted to work with people in transformative ways, right? I wanted the work that I did with my clients to be transformational. And so when I created my programs, when I created my offerings, that was always part of it. It was like, how do I make this transformational? And that just couldn't happen, in my opinion, by offering one-to-one sessions. Yeah. From a background as being a health psychologist, I knew that when it came to behavior change, there's things that mattered. It mattered by having people around other people, right? That made a difference. It mattered about working with people and journeying with them over time. So one session, right, or giving them the option to just pay per session, it just wasn't going to cut it. And so I started to look at, if I'm going to create this business and it's really going to like serve my greatest purpose and what I've been called to do, I must execute it in ways that just meet what my desires are and meet the truth in terms of how can I serve my clients with the utmost integrity and the way in which is going to really make an impact in their life. And so I made those decisions, guys. And so as I built my business was transformational programs, right? And included transformational retreats. Yeah. And still to this day, we offer transformational retreats in our programs, right? Particularly our inner circle, like year long. There's 2 retreats a year. There's retreats that are available and they're really transformational. Right. And we have online retreats, we have offline retreats, we have retreats when they're offline, they are in 5-star venues, just because that's what I became accustomed to when I was working in corporate. And so I was like, that's what I want for myself as well. That's what I want for my clients. And I want my clients as well to recognize that that's available to them, right? Like if they choose that, that is available for them to be able to visit 5-star venues and stay in 5-star venues, right? And I remember one retreat we had last year's retreat. I remember we was in the hot tub, it was all the practitioners there. We was in the hot tub and we was just talking, like it was after the day, and there was a couple there and they had taken some time off to spend some time at the retreat venue. And we were there. Our retreats are typically like Monday or Tuesday, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. So we was there. And they was like, what do you guys do? Because it's Monday and you are at this 5-star venue in this hot tub, right? Like laughing and joking, but also talking about like business and stuff. Like, what do you guys do? And for us to be able to be like, yeah, we're practitioners, right? Practitioners that are doing amazing things, like whether they're helping people heal their pain, whether they're helping their parents with learning disabilities or just with children who have learning disabilities or neurodivergence. We have people that are helping people with relationships and dating and love, and people that are helping people with realigning their life, right? Like all sorts of practitioners were there in that hot tub, and they were practitioners that have worked with me to help them develop their own online business that gives them the freedom and flexibility to go away and have a retreat and still be doing business stuff, right? These are, they leave these retreats with amazing breakthroughs by taking that time away. But it's about recognizing that when you take time away from your busy day-to-day hustle, whatever it is, like on whatever you're doing, and you do that with your clients, they can be really transformational elements to your business. And so I'm really for retreats. I feel like when you set aside that time to just go within and really immerse yourself into the materials of whatever you're teaching, right? And allowing space for visioning, allowing space for meditation, allowing space for walks or whatever that is, right? Like it's going to allow your clients to just have a deeper level of transformation when that happens. Yeah. And so this can be really, really beneficial to your business. And so that's why I wanted to bring out this topic of conversation, which I've never had on my platform before, right? But I know there are many practitioners that would like that. Yeah. And if that is you and you would like to have retreats as part of your business, I would love for you to drop in the comments like retreats, right? I'm about retreats. Yeah. And really claim that and state that as part of what your vision is, because when it comes to these 5 core factors of what you really must consider in order to execute retreat and events in your business, yeah, one of the things is about declaring it. It's about being very, very true to what is the overall business vision, right? What is the mission? What am I about, right? Like, what is it that I really want to create? Yeah. So really, really important about recognizing, like I'm going to have retreats in the business. Yeah. Um, and as I have retreats in the business, I'm also equally going to make sure it's aligned with my vision. All right. So I just want to take a moment, guys, right? Like wherever you are watching this, if you can, I want you to just take a moment, like really ground yourself. Yeah. We're just going to spend a couple of minutes here, right? But just really ground yourself. Like put your feet on the floor if you can. Okay. Sit on a comfortable chair if you can. All right. I'm not sure where you are when you're listening, right? But just kind of like just relax in it. Like try and block out anything else that's going on if you can. If you can't, you can always come back to this later and re-listen to this part. But I just want you to take like 3 deep breaths in and out. You can close your eyes, lower your gaze if you would like, whatever is best for you. Okay. And so just deep breath in and out and deep breath in and out. And again, a deep breath in and out. I just want you to take a few moments here, right? I want you to really just imagine yourself right now somewhere where you would like your retreat to be, right? See what comes up for you. Yeah. Maybe it's you right now. You're on a beach, golden sands, beautiful blue ocean ahead of you, right? You can feel like the sea breeze on your skin. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, right? And you're like, yes, my retreat is here. Yeah. Maybe you're someone that you see yourself in the mountains, right? You see yourself in the mountains, right? There's different type of atmosphere going on. Yeah. And you're like, wow, look at that scenery around me, right? Whatever it may be, I want you to just start to visualize and imagine yourself somewhere where you are scoping out, like, my retreat is here, right? Maybe it's somewhere local to you that you've been past so many times and you're like, oh, I just want to bring some people here, connection, community right here, right? Bring that to mind. And I just want you to sink into that and decide and declare that this is possible for you. And it doesn't matter right now whether you're a person that you haven't even started your business, right? It doesn't matter right now if you have started your business and tried to have a retreat and it just hadn't come together. It doesn't matter, like whatever is coming up that might come up as like, oh, but, or that whisper of, oh, this. And we need to lay those aside, right? And when you next do the deep breath in, and out. And when you breathe in, I want you to breathe in the confidence, clarity, and certainty that you are going to decide and declare this is yours. You can do this. And when you breathe out, I want you to imagine any of feelings of doubts or fears or worries or what ifs, right? I want you to let them go. Yeah. And so breathe in and decide and declare. And breathe out and let go. And we're going to do that 2 more times again. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Open your eyes, smile, imagine yourself back in the place, right? Because it's possible for you guys. But that's the first thing is decide and declare that this is available to you. It doesn't matter if you're in a job right now and you don't have your own business started. It doesn't matter if you've started your business. Maybe you have a busy private practice, traditional route, right? Maybe you just went down the traditional route. You're working one-on-one, back-to-back clients, right? Low-paying clients, sliding scales, whatever it is, right? Maybe you're there, right? And you're like, how do I add retreats to that, right? Or, maybe you've started out and you're like, Tilean, I recognize how much I can gain from joining the online coaching world, and you've started your online coaching business as a practitioner, right? But you just haven't added retreats in yet. Or maybe you've added retreats, but actually you're at a loss, right? You're at a loss, like if you're funding the retreats and you're not making anything from it, yeah? But you do it just because you love it, right? Whatever the reason is for you, I want you to know that you can decide and declare it gets to be different. And that's the first step, right? The first core factor in deciding of having retreats that fuel you, right? And that serve the business and that serve the clients as part of your business. It's about understanding and anchoring in that vision. And don't just do it now, today, right? But doing that often. Create a vision board for yourself if you don't have it yet, right? Or a vision document or a vision journal, whatever that is for you, right? But you want to continuously be anchoring in your vision, right? Principle number 2, right? So I don't believe it's just enough to have just retreat, right? And so, this is if you're just going to have like just a retreat and there's going to be nothing else from that retreat, I just think it's not necessarily of service to your clients, right? They're going to have so many breakthroughs, so many transformationals, so many transformations, so many ahas from that time period of doing a retreat, right? And it's about understanding that actually, how could I continue to serve this audience, these people that I've just taken it in this great immersive following the retreat or before the retreat, right? Are there things that you might want to add to your retreat offering or your business offerings, right? That make it even more transformational for your clients? Yeah. So one of the things I mentioned is that we host an inner circle, right? We have practitioners that it's called Momentum. It's an inner circle. It's 12 months, right? And in that 12 months, 2 times a year, there's like a deep immersive, 2-day workshops that we do, right? And it's really immersive. We spend all day together, right? And it retreat format. Sometimes we go to do it in person. Sometimes we do it online, right? But it's really immersive. Yeah. It would be a poor practice for me to just offer that, right? To just offer, come along for 2 days and that's it, right? And that's why it's part of a 12-month process, right? We have community, we have friendships, we have like celebrations, right? We have like ongoing transformations, ongoing results that happen in that container. And so it's about recognizing, like, if I'm going to offer a retreat as part of my business, what else comes around that? Right? How do I help people plan and prepare for the retreat? Right? If they're going to a destination, how do I help them plan and prepare for that destination? Right? How do I help them make the most of when they are there in that space? Yeah. How do I help them once we have left that destination to continue the results going? Right? And so you want to be thinking beyond your retreat. right? And that's also a core factor to ensure that your business is really not looking at just being like, oh, I just want to have like these nice workshops in pretty destinations and just do it because that just feels fun. But actually, if I'm creating a business that is of transformation, how do these retreats like become part of the transformation? Yeah. How do these events that I'm putting on become part of the transformation as well? Right? Every element of your business, like you've got to be thinking transformation, right? You've got to be thinking beyond just like, okay, this is one and done. Yeah. So I think that's a very, very important point to consider as well. The other thing is, as well, is like price your retreats effectively. It's very, very important to understand and consider that there's a lot of components that go into building and creating a retreat, right? If you're going abroad, right? If you're leaving where you are, yeah, there's going to be flights, or maybe it's going to be local, but there might be trains or a car journey, right? You've got to factor that into your costs. That is a business cost that you've got to factor in. How you get in there? Like you, the host, right? And if you're bringing an assistant, how are they getting there? And that needs to be covered by the cost of your retreats, right? If you're staying at the retreat, your cost to stay at the retreat must be covered. Your food, the food for you must be covered, right? Yeah, like all what costs you're including. It's not just like thinking like keeping those separate. It's about recognizing actually how do I run this retreat where actually I am also as the host being paid to run the retreat. Are there any transportation fees that need to be covered? Maybe you're doing a destinational retreat and one of the days you're taking people out on a catamaran or on a yacht or whatever, right? What are the costs that need to be covered there? Yeah. Are there supplies? Right? Are you going to be handing out gifts as part of this? Yeah. Maybe you're going to have a gift, like when people arrive, there's a gift to greet them, right? Costs of that. Any things that you are doing, if you're going to be tipping, right? Yeah. If you're going to be tipping the venue, tipping the supplies, tipping whatever, these are costs, right? Are there also going to be marketing? All right, it's important as part of business marketing. I teach practitioners lots about marketing. Yeah. So marketing and how to do soul aligned marketing, right? But marketing is part of that. Okay. These are things you've got to consider. Insurance, you've got to consider that, right? Taxes. These have got to be included and considered. Credit card fees, right? Card fee, processing card fees, right? Every time a client processes a payment to join your retreat, there's going to be like a potentially up to 3% charge on that, right? Are you going to have photographer there, videographer there? All of these are costs to running a retreat. And if you go about running a retreat blindly and you don't think of that, you can find yourself running a retreat at a loss. Yeah. Or you can find yourself running a retreat at a break even where you have just, it's poured out maybe 50 hours, 100 hours plus into this retreat. And you've not even got paid. Or if you work it out, you've got paid £10 or less an hour. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. So you've got to ensure that your retreat is priced effectively, where you are also being paid as the host and you're not being paid £10 an hour, right? Yeah. Like, but that actually you really consider what you are bringing to the table here and all of like the energy and everything that comes into hosting one of these retreats and all what you're bringing to the table, right? Some of you practitioners here have like degree upon masters, upon some of you even doctorate, right? Skills. Some of you have books, have, all of this stuff. You cannot be running your retreat at a loss, guys. Okay. So I really want to encourage that, right? The other thing is about, the other core element is ensuring that you are, when you are marketing your retreat, you give yourself time, right? You give yourself time to really, it depends on where your business is at. Okay. So number 4 is giving yourself time to market this retreat, right? Depending on where your business is at. If your list size, email list is non-existent, right? Or low level, like under 1,000 people, even know that your business even exists. You want to be able to give yourself a good runway for people to learn about you, for people to learn about what you do, for people to understand and even put in their mind that you even host retreats, right? So I would really encourage you to give yourself a 1 year runway, right? Where you can plant the seed and be like, yeah, this business, it has retreats. We're going to have a retreat in the future. And in that 1 year, you build your brand, you build your community, you build your email list, right? You also can offer payment plans for this retreat, right? Where people have longer to pay towards it, right? By giving yourself that runway. In that runway, does that mean your business is not revenue producing? No. Because, like I said, right, if you're thinking about transformation, you should have a core transformational offering, right? And this is one of the things that I teach practitioners to do, and I help them do, is create that core transformational offering, right? What is that core offer going to be under your business? When people think of you and your business and your brand, they think of your core offer, right? And that's your online offer, right? Your online coaching offer, which can be a one-to-many. It doesn't have to be one-to-one, right? These are one of the things I teach, is creating something that's scalable, that's one-to-many. Yeah. So you want to be considering that as well, right? Really great points. Is this helping you guys? Yeah. Let me know in the chat. Okay. All right. Let me know if this is helping. So there are things that you must consider. It's not enough to just be like, oh, I just want to have a retreat. Let me just put it together and not be thinking about these things, right? And not give yourself that good runway to really get it off the ground and interaction. Yeah. And so when it comes to marketing, you want to be thinking about education-based marketing, right? Education-based marketing. Yeah. How do I educate people on why they need to come to this retreat? Right? It's not just about these retreats. When you think about costing, and I'm glad this is helping, when you think about costing your retreat, these therefore retreats are probably unlikely going to be a few £100s to come to, or a few $100s, right? If you really, really think about it and you take into consideration transportation, rooms, food, supplies, marketing, gifts, tips, entry fees, insurance, taxes, processing, card fees, photographer, videographer, assistants if you need, right? Like, literally, for you to be able to put that together, you're really thinking about, okay, this is not just something people are just going to be like, oh, I want to go to that a retreat for 197, right? No. So it can't just be you're just popping up a flyer and saying, hey, come across and give me a few grand to come and do this retreat. You've got to really understand marketing and how to market that people will make an investment of a significant amount into themselves, yes, right? But into your business as well. Yeah. And so that has to come with a certain type of marketing. And one day I'll cover that on this as well. Okay. So guys, right? You can have what you envision for your business. You can absolutely have it. And it can change your life profoundly, right? It will light you up no end. It will have a ripple of impact in your family. It will have a ripple of impact into the lives that you actually help people with, right? But you've got to do it effectively and accordingly. Yeah. I really advise you that as you build your business, as you build your retreats, you get yourself a coach that you resonate with, right? That can help you support it. Yeah. That gives you the knowledge and guidance of what you need to execute to where you want to get to, right? And you have that business strategic support to do that, right? That's why I offer that to practitioners. It's certainly my calling to help as many practitioners as possible, right? Whether it's on my free platforms or in my paid services, yeah, to get their business off the ground in a way that is soul nourishing and profitable for them. Okay. So if you like what I've shared today, if it's helped you in any way, I'd encourage you to stay close to my channel, right? I encourage you to stay close to the trainings that I'm going to be serving here every single week, right? You know, as much as possible, I'm going to give you some great trainings to help you with that, because you get to pivot from how you are working to work in ways that are aligned, to work in ways that make sense with you, right? That is infused with purpose, okay? Even if right now the path ahead seems a little bit uncertain, all right? So it's really, really important of recognizing that is available to you, okay? So that's everything, guys, all right? I just want to say good vibes as always, and God bless, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.